From it. We're doing Facebook Live while we do this. So
Oh,
nice
God.
to meet. So nice to meet you. I'm Todd Andrewson. I work at the Air Base. I'm in active duty Air Force, but on the side, I have several other things that I do, from writing a blog to working side business. And so Jessica and I teamed up in order to be able to teach diet and mindset, because what is the one thing that always ruins our diet or our plans, our goals? A negative mindset. And so because of that, I'm going to spend about the next 15 minutes or so talking about how to have a mindset for success, and give a couple of tools tools that you can use in order to achieve any goal or dream that you desire. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
So, have any of you listened to Earl Nightingale before, or heard of his stuff? Earl Nightingale, back in 1955, wrote a book, a paper, and it's been videotaped and on the radio. You can find it on YouTube, called The Strangest Secret. And one of the premises of that is the problem with men today is that they don't think. And mindset is the set of beliefs in our mind that we have about ourselves and about what we can achieve. Now, Earl said it, we become what we think about. The Bible says it. Proverbs 23:7 says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." And many of the gurus throughout history have said, "As a man thinketh, so is he," or we become what we think about. So if we're becoming what we think about, it's important to control what we think about, right? So our mindset is like the setting on an oven. So if we have a goal that we want to achieve, say you want to achieve weight loss, or you want to increase your sales or increase the size of your business, you want to stop eating candy, stop eating sugar, get a healthy diet. We have to change the setting in our mind that is addicted to doing those things, or tells us that we can't accomplish those things. It's like an oven. You can't bake cookies if the oven's set to 100 degrees, can you? Or you can, it'll just take a really long time to cook. So real quick, as I get into this, let me just tell you why I got into the mindset training and why I got into doing what I do. And I'm a very religious person, just like Jess. And so for months, I've been praying about how I could earn some extra money to pay off debt, because like everybody, even though I'm a pilot in the Air Force and make good money, the more money you make, the more debt you seem to accumulate in this world of ours. And so I've been praying about what can I do to earn some money. And I was told I had a very distinct impression and feeling to ask my friends Jake and Amy Earl to mentor me. And they've been going through this process that I'm teaching for the last couple years. And so this training that I'm giving you comes from Amy. It's a training that she's given. And the whole purpose of it has changed my life. I've been doing this for 6 months now, and it has changed my life. I always had a good relationship with my wife, but we've been married for 23 years, and now it's almost like we're newlyweds, because as I changed myself, she began working on herself, personal development and all that. And suddenly we have goals, and we're looking at things in the future. And it has brought us closer as a couple by learning how to control our thinking. And so for our mindset, if you have a goal, you set a goal. If your mindset doesn't line up with your goal, you'll never achieve it. Mindset controls every aspect of our life. How you parent, that your attitude at work, how hard you work. It controls your paycheck. If you ever see somebody and hear them talking, expressing, and you say they've got $1 million mindset. You just know that person is going to be a millionaire just because their focus and their mindset is such that you just know that they're going to do it, and they just know that they're going to do it. If you're not getting the results you want, you have to change your mindset. For any of these topics, diet, detox, work, family, the definition of stupidity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. So the secret of success is we become what we think about. I highly recommend listening to Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret on YouTube. It's free, it's 30 minutes long, and he basically put in layman's terms what it is and how we can go about fixing our mindset in our life. If we become what we think about, we have to control what we think about. And that's really the key to mindset, is we have to control what we think about. So how do we fix our mindset to align with our goals? Any ideas?
Habit.
Change. You have to change. In order to get better, we have to change. And so to fix our mindset, what we have to do is we have to change I wish, I'd love to, I want, and we have to change that to I believe. And that's huge. That's the biggest difference, is you have to change the wishing for things into a believing that you can achieve something. And to fix our mindset and align it, we use a concept. We have to connect the 3 creative energies inside of us. We call them, and got from Amy, we call it our see, our say, and our feel. So, see, in our mind, when we have a goal, we have to see and picture in our mind that goal. Whether it's cash money, whether it's a thinner figure, whether it is not to have panic attacks anymore. We have to see that in our mind. We have to say, in the words we use, both internally and externally, we have to keep, that has to match up, that has to be positive. We have to say our goal, and we have to feel the emotions of it. In order to align our mindset, we have to take those 3 things and connect them. So when we connect our see, say, and our feel, then, as Earl says, with our worthwhile goal, then magic happens. And changes begin to occur. We have to create this connection. And it only takes about 10 minutes a day to fix it. It only takes about 10 minutes a day to work on our mindset. And working on your mindset, it's not personal development. It's not listening to podcasts. It's not going to events. Working on your mindset, it takes 10 minutes a day in your home, and it's working on controlling what we think about. And the changes begin to occur. So how often have you said in your mind, I'm going to do this? New Year's resolutions, how long do they last?
A month.
A month? Yeah, a month's about the consensus. So we say, I'm going to do this. And at the same time, in our mind, as we're saying vocally to our friends, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to do this. In our mind, we're saying, yeah, no, I'm not. In our mind, we're saying, that candy bowl looks real nice. In our mind, we're saying, you're not good enough, or I'm not smart enough. I'm not, who do I think I am? How often do we do that to ourselves? And that's because the frequency of our mindset is off from what our goal is. That's why New Year's resolutions rarely work, because people's frequency of what their mindset is here, when their goal is up here. And until we get those aligned, we won't stick with it. We won't be consistent. We won't achieve the goal. And so, in that internal dialogue, we've attached negative emotions to the goal that we're saying, I want to achieve. And we've already at the outset attached negative emotions. And so that's a good way to fail at our resolutions or fail at our goals. And so from hoping to believing, that's what we want to do. We want to change our mindset from hoping to be able to accomplish something to believing. And we do this by connecting our see, say, and our feel. And as I said, we can do it in 10 minutes a day. And one of the ways we can do it is by using a vision board. Have you guys heard of a vision board before? Who's heard of a vision board? Okay, 3. You have one?
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, Amy taught, and I really like this because it's simple. Anyone can do it. We actually just use painter's tape and just put a square, 4 pieces of painter's tape on the wall, and where we can get up and we'll see it first thing in the morning. And then you spend 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening looking at your vision board. And what goes on the vision board? What is a vision board? A vision board is a tool that we use to create and connect our see, say, feel. We put, we train our mind that what goes on the board is supposed to come off the board, meaning we've accomplished it. And it's a visual depiction of our goals. It should be clean, concise, and not cluttered. When just starting out using a vision board, we recommend keeping it simple. 4 things. We call them ABC. A goals are easy to accomplish. You know that you can probably accomplish that goal. B and C are a little bit more difficult. So if you're doing a business, maybe your C goal is several levels up in the company that you're working for. Your B goal is halfway there, and your A goal might be something like, I'm not going to drink soda this week. And because it's something that you can accomplish. The A and B goals are smaller because they help to train your brain that what gets put on the board gets taken off the board. To train your brain to think in positive terms about your goals. And the way it works is, I'll tell about how it works, and then I've got a personal example of using the vision board. So the way it works is 5 minutes in the morning. You can use music to get the emotion that you want if you need to. And you imagine your goal as though you've already achieved it. You sit there and you picture in your mind's eye, and looking at the board, yourself, if the goal is to go to Disneyland with your family, say, you picture yourself already there with your family, that you have the finances to do it, you have the greatest time, you can hear Mickey Mouse talking to your kids, and you can just see it you say it out loud and internally while you're doing it. I'm at Disneyland with my family, and you talk about it, and then you have music to get the emotion up, to tie the three things together. You make it as vivid as possible, as though you already have it. You do that in the morning and you do it at night. Now, the key with a vision board is when you're doing this, you don't ask how. You don't say, you don't put on your goal, I want to make $10,000 a month, and then sit there and ask, how's that going to happen? You don't put on the board, I want to weigh 175 pounds, for me, and say, how am I going to do that? Because the vision board, your time in front of the vision board is to help fix your mindset. It's not to ask, well, how am I going to do that? Because we don't know how. We can't see right now how that's going to happen. That's why it's a goal that we're trying to get to believe. We can't see it, but we have to imagine it. We can't see the how. We don't know how we're going to get there, but we imagine it as though it's already happened. And then in the Bible, many times it says, ask and it shall be given you, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be opened, right? And so in our team, we also use, I ask for inspiration, I listen for inspiration, and I act on inspiration. One of the things that the Lord has done for us is that when we ask for inspiration, He's ready to give it to us. But most of the time we ask for inspiration and then we rush off to our daily lives and we don't take the time to listen. And then when we do get inspiration, we say, oh, that wasn't really inspiration, and we don't do what we were inspired to do. And so it gets less and less that we can hear it. But when we ask, we listen, and then we act on inspiration, we actually get more and more inspiration, because the Lord's always willing to bless us and give us inspiration when we ask for it. But we have to listen, and we as humans are pretty good at doing 100 other things besides that. And so as we're doing our vision board, it's not, we don't ask how. We just imagine it as though it has already happened. And that tunes us into inspiration. That tunes us into our mindset of believing that I can achieve these goals. And then one warning: when you try to achieve something, achieve a goal, what happens when you decide to lose weight at New Year's for your New Year's resolution? Temptations. And suddenly there's a big bowl of candy and donuts are brought in by everybody every single day of the week. And the thing is, not only that, but when you start using a vision board, you may have those negative thoughts crop in, because the negative will try and attack you. It will try and tell you that you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? Why do you want these big goals? Why do you can't do that? And so as those thoughts pop into your head, and they will, don't beat yourself up about them. Have a paper there by your vision board, write them down, and then shred them, destroy them. In the act of writing them down and destroying them, you are tossing them out of your life. Therapists have been using this for years for people to get the negative out of their mind. Because if you don't get it out of your mind, it sits there and bounces back and forth in your head. And so you have to get rid of it. Get rid of the trash, get rid of the lies. Don't let the lies hold you back. And so that's how you use a vision board. And real quick, I know we've each taken a little bit longer than we planned today, but person. Twice in the last month, 2 months, I decided to test the vision board process. Like really, because I use my vision board, but I really wanted to test how much I could push the vision board. And so for the first time, I decided that I wanted to get $200 within 24 hours. And so I'm like, I'll try it. And literally 24 hours later, my son is currently serving a church mission for the LDS Church, the Mormon Church in the Philippines. And 24 hours after I put it on my vision board that I wanted $200, I got a message from the bishop, the leader of our church here in Columbus, saying, hey, he's got like 2 months worth of money already. You overpaid for a couple of months on his mission, so you don't need to, don't send in the money yet, because we don't want the balance to be too big for his mission. So I was like, okay, there's the response. I got the $200 because I was able to then put that back into my budget. But I didn't actually have cash in hand for that one, right? So last week, I decided to try again with a little bit bigger, and I decided to put $1,000 cash on my vision board. And when I sat there, I envisioned a blue check and with $1,000 on it, and I really went into the vision board on it. And that day I was inspired to list. I had been thinking about it, but I was inspired to actually act on it, listing an item for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Now, Facebook Marketplace, I've listed a bunch of things on there, and it's taken weeks and weeks for somebody to actually come through on they're saying, hey, I'm interested in this. And I said, I want $1,000 in 48 hours. 24 hours later, I had $1,000 cash in my hand for that item that I ended up listing sell. Went and got a money order, which happened to be blue, to put into my bank, because my bank, I don't have a local bank. And so I was like, I have $1,000 blue check to put in the bank. This stuff works. It's not hocus pocus. It's not magic. It works by eternal principles that that the Lord has set aside. Ask and it shall be given you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be opened. And so that's one way to fix your mindset. Earl gives another way, and it is by taking an index card and reading it several times throughout the day. You just write on it what your primary goal that you want to achieve is right now. And so for like mine, I am so happy and grateful now that I am a market mentor and have earned my founder shares in the Cadillac. Okay, that's my goal. It's actually a pretty big goal in my company that I'm working for. And you write it as I am so happy and grateful that it's occurred, as though it's already happened. And then you just read it over and over, and it gets your mind to believe that you can do it. You can work with any goal that you have. Unless, you're a paraplegic and say, I am so happy and grateful that I'm running in the Olympics. You have to be somewhat realistic with the goals. But mindset training and mindset focus really work. That's all I've got for the mindset class this time. What what the vision board does and what all this does, it's called it's part of the law of attraction. And the next time I do a class, I'm planning on doing another class, location to be determined, next Saturday, discussing the law of attraction, and spend about 30 minutes going over the law of attraction and how it actually works for success. And so Jess and I want to thank you guys for coming. Thank you very much for attending and receiving this training. Hopefully it was good for you and helpful, beneficial. And so Jess, as you know, Jess and I, we're both with different companies, and we decided to team up, not to sit here and sell you product. People do that all the time, and we're like, we'd rather provide something beneficial, training, and then if you would like, would take 5 minutes and just tell you a little bit about our companies. But we're not here trying to sell you anything. We just want to get you to understand